Our last reading in the Big Book of Virginia Ghost Stories about George Washington is about his tomb. There is rather a strange footnote to the George Washington Mount Vernon saga. In 1937, during the Great Depression, Works Progress Administration writers had this to say about Mount Vernon. In such veneration is this spot held that on every ship of the U.S. Navy, while passing by, the flag is lowered to half-mast, the bell tolled, and the crew drawn up at attention. During the whole of the Civil War, this ground was tacitly held neutral by both sides. In 1814, when the British fleet sailed up the Potomac to attack the city of Washington, so great was their respect for the dead leader of the enemy that every ship fired a salute. That's pretty impressive. George Washington and Martha were originally buried in the old family vault on a slope overlooking the Potomac River. The old tomb was built in 1745 by Washington for his brother Lawrence in accordance with his will. Later, George, Martha, and his nephew Bushrod were buried here. Although the president had left express instructions in his will that a new brick tomb be built, even naming the site, the work was not undertaken by his heirs until 1831, shortly after an attempt had been made to steal Washington's skull from the crumbling old tomb. Wonder what they wanted to do with the skull. After the death of Bushrod Washington, John Augustine Washington the Elder took over the management of Mount Vernon. Early in 1830, he discharged an employee who, in a moment of drunken rage, returned by night and broke into the old tomb, intending to steal the skull of George Washington. He was caught with the skull, but it was that of a nephew also buried in the tomb. After the attempted theft, John Augustine Washington set about building the new tomb, which Bushrod had neglected. It was completed in 1831, and the bodies from the old tomb were removed to it. In 1837, the open outer vault was added, and the two sarcophagi set in it. The last person buried in the inner vault was James Washington in 1855. The doors were then locked, and the key thrown into the Potomac River. So somewhere in the Potomac River is the key to that vault. And sure wonder what they wanted to do with his skull. That might take some investigation. I have an inkling.